With our tool, I'm able to not only build these workflows like what I showed you, but give folks access to a lot of those tools to start doing the testing. Here's something that I worked on recently that I thought would be an interesting one to share with you. I have a business advisor for my company. I have 10 people. We're starting to really grow, and I'm getting too busy to do all the admin that I used to do, right? And so I got asked, hey, what have you spent your time on in the past year? And luckily, with my tool, I can connect it to my Gmail and to my Google Calendar. And I said, hey, do an analysis of where I've spent my time this entire year. Put it into buckets and tell me what I need to do better. I don't have to go back and do that. It just grabbed all that data for me. This is literally my time, right? One of the things I think is interesting is that partnerships and boards, for me, that is like nonprofit stuff. I'm spending like 12% of my time doing nonprofit stuff. While I'm happy to do that, is that the ideal use of my time right now as I'm trying to grow a company? Maybe not. I'm doing a lot of admin things. It caught, and I have a lot more details than this, it caught that I'm planning my company Christmas party right now, and I probably shouldn't be doing that. I should probably hand that over to somebody else, right? So there are things like that I wouldn't have been able to dive in. I would have been guessing at where I'm spending my time. I'm able to actually get real data and run with it. So how do we layer this out? We're really focusing on crawl, walk, run. We start with, hey, let's get a policy in place. Let's get your team starting to use AI, right? Let's get them just using ChatGPT, but in our instance, in a safe place. Then let's introduce some tools to them just to get them thinking. All of our tools are designed to get people to think about, oh, well, is this an application we could use? Could it do this? Could it do that? That's what I want them to think, because they're going to come to you with, you know what, I think we could use AI. Maybe I don't know how to program it, but I think we could use AI for this. And you start looking for those opportunities within the business. This is the first tool, and what I see is it's been driven sort of bottom up. They're going to bring the solutions. They're going to say, hey, we could use AI to fix this problem. You're not even going to know that problem exists, right? And they're going to be able to bring that to you and look for opportunities. Once you can do that, then you start to walk. Sometimes you're going to find that you don't have the data to be able to do this anyway. They're going to say, I got this problem. I would love to do something about it, but I don't have the data. We got to start collecting that data right now. AI doesn't work if we don't have a good data set behind it. So if you're not collecting data right now to feed it, you're going to be behind. It's time to start doing that today. Once you have that in place, now we can start releasing tools to the team and start looking for the bigger opportunities. This is the cheapest way into Industry 4.0. This is not a $100,000 robot. You can get 20 people on your company into AI for like 10 grand a year. That is pretty inexpensive when you think about a tool that works. When you buy a robot, it just works on the manufacturing floor. When I buy AI and give it to my whole team, it's going to help purchasing, it's going to help sales, it helps everybody across the business. So you have a pretty cool opportunity to really make some good change, or really have some big impact there. So my call to action is that AI is a now decision. You have to think about, and as leadership, you can't wait on this. You have to think about, how are we going to start using it today? And it can be easy today. That's the idea. Make it easy, right? Start small. You're going to learn fast, and you're going to lead, right? Leaders are going to jump in front of this. The teams that say, we're going to wait 6 months and see where it's at, you're going to be decades behind. It's moving that fast. It's not an option. If you are good at Google, you can be good at AI. You do not need to be a programming expert to be good at this. So start using it today. This is our access for that free AI policy. Please grab it and start looking at how your team can use it. I don't say that, don't tell your team no on this. Tell them, hey, for marketing stuff, go use ChatGPT, please. I'm fine if it generates some images for us. But for accounting analysis of my data, I want to use a tool like we have, or go find that private tool and work with your IT department to either find those or find guys like us that can help implement secure AI into your company to drive with it. I'm happy to answer, and I'm sure Evan would be happy to answer any questions related to AI, where it could fit in. I know we got dinner coming, so I don't want to kill your whole evening. But any questions that we can certainly help. Yeah, go ahead.
I like the point about how you talk about building a workforce and fixing things that my generation doesn't know to fix, like software can fix that. With the time that I downloaded code, how are you going to get that person to talk on how to fix it and get it to truly translate into using that code correctly? Like, if I try to teach it how to make a peanut butter sandwich, and I tell it take bread out of the thing, it's just going to rip bread out of it instead of pulling it out of the whole bag.
Yeah, so in my mind, we're going to have to work on, number one, what information is he collecting, right? Is he able to talk into his phone, describe what he wants to do, and from there, hopefully he can add as much context as we can get him to add. One is I got to incentivize that guy to actually give me information, right? What's his incentive to do this? So we're working on ways that we can capture how much every individual is putting into the system to either two things. One, pay him up front. Or I have an idea that we can say, hey, every time we access this, your data, we're going to send you some money in the mail, right? It's $1 or something. Every time we access this, the more you put in there, the more valuable you are long-term. You are long-term invested in our company. So ways that we can, be creative and incentivize them to do that. There is going to have to be some oversight on that by management to look at it to make sure it's valuable data and clean data that's going in. So that's certainly a concern, and we have to be finding the right tools to kind of analyze that and turn that into something useful is critical. But using the AI on the background to then say, hey, what did we do for part 1, 2, 3 in the past? And find all the information we've ever done about it is really interesting. And so I think we have some cool opportunities to create those lessons for teams. Any other questions? Yeah?
I'm pretty interested in using AI to help with pricing. So I do a lot of estimating using a lot of calculators and Excel, right? Excel calculators and whatnot. Do you think, in your estimation, is this something that I would need professional help with, or is this kind of like a casual user will be able to jump in and create a bot that can kind of take data and convert it into a useful calculator?
I created one.
Yeah, so Heaven has one. I have one for my team.
Yeah, it's not something that you need a lot of coding background. I mean, you can actually have it code something if you want, to Adam's point, but you can just ask it certain questions to help you figure it out. So how do I build a pricing calculator? You guys throw it into ChatGPT, have a conversation with it, and then it will give you the steps that you need to follow in order to create that inside of its own system. And whether you want to pull it outside and do it in another system, I mean, if you're using your own pricing information, maybe don't use ChatGPT, maybe use something that's a little bit more company approved, but from a security perspective. But the bots themselves will teach you how to do what you want it to do.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's part of the dirty secret is if I don't know how to do something, or guess what helps me write my prompts? I mean, I'm going to use AI to help me write better prompts and figure out how to build the tool. On the flip side, so I've built them for my team. It's the validation that actually takes more time than building the tools to make sure it's actually giving you the numbers that you want it to give you. Mm-hmm. So how do you test it?
Right.
And so the example would be my team on the quality consulting side. We help companies to get like ISO 9001, or if you ever see a company has that, quality certifications, things like that. And so I've built a estimating tool for us that is really strong. And it's strong because in the background, I've given it a year's worth of the proposals that I wrote and one Excel sheet, which is interesting, with like 20 tables on it to figure out pricing. Right? So my tool is able to navigate that one Excel sheet, figure out which table to go to, grab the price, and then use my year's worth of proposals for context and to learn how I write. And then it writes our proposals for us, comes up with the price, and all I do is I validate it. So we spent the first 2 months of having that tool of writing our own proposals and making sure our numbers were the same. Right? And then we tested against all of them. So we tested about 100 proposals to make sure the numbers were good coming out of it. And so that part is really the time-consuming one.
So to take it a step further, with Microsoft Copilot and using what's their AI, or it's like their app, Power AI.
Yeah.
I've had a tremendous amount of difficulty in trying to cross the bridge to like a functional app.
That's been my problem with Microsoft Copilot the whole time. I'm at a Copilot until they figure out how to make it better. I'm outside of using it to like retrieve files and stuff within my system, I find it relatively useless.
I agree completely.
GPT's not going to make the actual tool, is it?
You can build a custom GPT, right? And like our software, you were able to build tool. The idea is, how do I make a repeatable tool, right? Hey, here's my code, here's my prompt, here's my system, right? And how do I make that repeatable? You can do that in ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It's the security side that I would avoid. So you got to look for Got to look for a separate tool. And the data leakage there is for real. Whether you have it locked down or not, I try to pull completely out of their environment. I don't want to play with their terms and conditions are crazy. They own your stuff. I mean, it's bad. Yeah.
Is there legal precedence within that yet for like complete information?
Nope.
Not yet.
It's a Wild West right now.
Wild West,
Yeah, it's a Wild West right now. It's scary.
If you put IP in, like if
How
you,
long till that's can come up? I mean, someone's going to throw money at
well-
whether it's ChatGPT or have business that might leak that information.
Anthropic 2 weeks ago just had, it was like 100 prompts, like streams of prompts showed up on Google. And these were just what people typed into it and didn't have it, weren't in a private environment. That's terrifying. Imagine if you were like, I need to review this employee and I'm trying to write this, like that'd be really bad. So yeah, there's not yet. It's coming. I would say what's more interesting is how am I going to market? Because I think SEO is dead.
yeah,
Right.
it is a different world. It's going to keep on going. It's not dead yet. You can give it a little
It's
bit.
coming.
It'll be dead next year.
I'm not
Next year it'll
spending
be
money on SEO right now. I'm spending money on how do I make sure that AI can find me. And right now, that is free. There is there's no pay to play with AI yet. I'm sure that's coming. But for right now, that is all about content and being a leader in the market. It's looking for you for info.
dead. Linking everywhere. Linking everywhere.
So you just really piqued my interest. Why would you say SEO is dead vis-a-vis ChatGPT, but they're pulling from the same sources of information?
Oh, it's gaming the system with SEO, right? So it's looking for different things than what Google was looking for. Now we're trying to, I would say it's a different model. We're trying to teach AI to find us, not trick Google into putting us up top on the list. So it's a very different approach to marketing.
And Google is now penalizing actual sites for using tons of AI content that you don't humanize. And there are tools out there so you can humanize the content a little bit, but the AI will tend to find it no matter what.
Think about Google. If you Google something now and it gives you an AI answer up top. The deal with Google in the past was they can use my website as long as they're sending me traffic. They're not sending me traffic anymore, right? Because they're just giving somebody the answer. And so what is my incentive? Number one, to pay Google for marketing now. No, not doing that anymore. Number two, try to get up the list on those guys. People aren't, the number of searches on Google is dropping, and people are now going to ChatGPT with that question. So I want to make sure that it can find me. And that is all about content,
Yep.
right?
Content.
That's what SEO is.
Well, no.
You're not paying for it anyway.
Oh, you're definitely, you're paying your marketing guys to get the wording right at the top. No, we're talking about breadth content, not the little tweaks that we're trying to make it perfect, right? This is talking about deep information. And so I want the more I have on my website, the better, the stronger we're going to be. Yeah. Yeah, it's a different model. Yes.
Along the same line, so Google was able to identify what content on your site is AI written.
Yeah, pretty well.
It analyzes you if the majority of it is.
Yes.
Even if it's blogs, terms and conditions, just any pages on there.
Yes. So, I mean, look, Google's not going to release their algorithms, but that's what it appears to be doing.
Yes. Yeah.
And so we're looking at how do you make. My answer isn't you should write all your articles yourself. My answer is let AI write 90% of it,
Yep.
and then clean up that last 10%, and then it's not going to count.
Yeah.
Then it's yours. That's okay.
There's tools you can use to adapt your
Right.
footage and then run.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
there's tons of tools. I mean, even in working in Chat, now you're absolutely right. 5 is horrible. I don't know who has used 5, but what they did with that is 4 was hand over fist better. But you can use the actual bot itself inside of it to clean it, because there's prompts out there that you get. Like I mentioned Reddit earlier. I did a Reddit prompt today, or I found a prompt on Reddit and put it into a blog that I was creating to kind of change the tonality of it, and it was crazy. It came out with a much different voice, sounded human, and didn't say. They took out a lot of the things that make AI sound like AI. So it's always improving too. But the models, when they change, all that sometimes gets set back to zero, and you got to start over.
Yeah, it's an interesting world. Any other questions? By all means, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, the apps that you showed up there before, Ganon and I think Fixer,
Yep.
are those free available apps or are those proprietary to your company?
No, Gamma and Fixer are just on the web. They're just ones I use personally. We do have one that is for our company, and that is what's called this Ledge Hats. And what we're able to do is give people access to a contained version of ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, and essentially 49 models. So you can start to learn which one to use and when. And then those tools that I was building, that's where I built them. Right? It's a toolkit I can build, and then I can deploy to individual companies. So I can build it and say, here you go, or you can build it yourself. That's the best part. You never had a technology you could test your results like that. Is it working? Nope. Here's what I need to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question for you, piggybacking off that, like how do you use all this program in your business model for that? Set of AI for it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What stops like ChatGPT from like, allowing you to use your prompt into your website for that? Like, is there soon to be a way where they cannot, like you cannot use their prompts into your software?
you mean they're yeah, we're licensed with them.
Okay.
So we have the licenses with those guys to use their stuff locally, and so we're not robbing anybody on that. But yeah. So we are, and I prefer using it this way because it gives me that safety. And I'm telling you, testing different when you look at data set, this would be a good example. If I have a huge data set, Google is way better at it because it has a bigger input context window. Google can take in 1 million pieces of information on the front end. ChatGPT, the newest one, can only take in 500,000. Yeah. So one of my customers just got a 250-page PDF from their calibration supplier. And every page is a different piece of information that they have to pull off and put into a table and analyze. Well, okay, how else are they going to do that without somebody having to go through this one page at a time? I wrote them a quick program, boom, it's done. And look, the only one that could do that was Google. I tried it, with the other tools, and they can't make it happen. It's because that context window is different. So you start to learn what tool works better at different spots.
You talked a little bit about the security side. So if you don't turn off the learning aspect of it, and you tell it stuff, let's just say problems within your company. You say, I have a company ABC, and here's a problem we have. In theory, if somebody else says, hey, our competitor ABC, what problems do they have? Do they communicate with itself?
Yep.
Yeah, it's not direct, but the knowledge is there, so it pulls the knowledge.
Yep.
It's all about trust scores, and it's,
Yeah, so that it becomes a concern on where the direction, and that's why you have to be very careful. That's why we're asking at the end of prompts, is this useful or not? Yeah. Or, hey, how confident are you in this? What things did you just make up? Because sometimes it just makes it up.
Hallucination's a real thing.
So, are you able to have it where it does learn, but just not make it, I'll say public, but
not really.
No.
Not really. Now, if you do a private one, if you use Copilot, you can do some private. And ChatGPT just released one of their versions you can run locally. Mm-hmm. However, you got to have the horsepower to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Think about, do you have the compute to do it? It's probably going to be slow. For light prompts, fine, and then that would stay within itself.
But if you were having, like, I think you mentioned having to do like quotes for you,
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you would put in your cost and have it determined.
That's sort of building the tools. So I've built tools that has my information in the back. I'm not teaching it that. So that's a good question. When we build tools, we kind of keep it in our own world. I'm not actually teaching it those things. Yes.
But the bot can use that information to.
Exactly. It can grab it when. Yeah, but I'm not sending anything to them. Yeah. I just used it. We talked about a market analysis. I'm using it to find connections at companies. The web scrapers are insane, where I can just say, hey, I want manufacturers in this county, and find me somebody in management there that I can shoot a note to, and I can pull it like that.
Yep.
And it's really amazing to see the direction we can head with it.
Well, that's fascinating. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Fascinating.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
That's great. Thank you very much.